Hey, welcome back to Room 237. This is John. I'm back with another video. Two things. One, I haven't done a comic review in quite a while, so I figured it was time to do another one. And also, I've been ranting a lot lately, so I figured I'd liven it up and do a comic book that I really, really love. Fell in love with it first when I read it all in one sitting, and that is Batman White Knight. This has got to be my second favorite Batman book ever. I'm only beaten by Batman The Long Halloween. And this is, I heard about this a while before it came out because this came out towards the end of last summer, but the actual run ran between 2017 and 18. And I remember on like all the comic pages and stuff I have on Facebook talking about the main story behind this, like for months before it started. And that is the Joker goes sane. And there's two things about this. One, it's part of DC Black Label, which means it's for out-of-continuity stories that just stand on their own universe, targeted more at more mature readers. And this very well could have been in continuity. I see how this could have worked. But also Black Label, I think it's just another way to get the Elseworlds label or style of stories going again. So yeah, pretty much Joker going sane and turning Gotham against Batman. That's what the story is, but it is super well done. It is written and drawn by Sean Murphy, who I had never read anything he wrote, but I have a couple books he's drawn, and I would say next to Scott Snyder, he's my favorite comic artist, and he lives like 45 minutes away from me, which is awesome. He lives in Portland. Just the artwork in this is so fantastic. It's not super realistic. I mean, it's as realistic as it needs to be, but it's also, they still look like comic characters. See if I can find. Here's one of them. Batman fighting Joker in the beginning. And where this is still kind of a new book, I'm not going to go super into the plot, like how it ends. And I want to try making a short video for once. I think more people watch my videos if they're shorter. But yeah. And I want to say Scott Snyder actually... I read somewhere, Scott Snyder said in an interview, I'm talking about a cool idea with Sean Murphy. And it was around the time this was being announced. So I wonder if it was that. If you can get cool stuff like that. Which if you read this, you know what that is. I don't know if this is the edition that has like the nudity in it with Harley, because I know during the original run that was in there and they had to censor it. But so pretty much Batman White Knight, it's set in an alternate world, alternate Gotham. Batman is more violent, more on the edge than ever before. Well, actually, it sort of starts off like Goodfellas. It shows up with Joker, who's all sane now, showing up at Arkham Asylum, where Batman is. And you're thinking, what the fuck? Then we jump to 1 year ago. So it's like Goodfellas. We see something, we go way back, and we work our way forward. So yeah, Batman, he's more on the edge. He's more of a loose cannon. He's going on just another caper after the Joker. Only this time, Joker leads him to this place. He says there's these pills that can make me sane again. Batman's like, really? And he just dumps a whole bottle of pills down his throat. While all of Gotham PD has finally shown up and watched him. And they're like, oh my god, he's like lost it. It's a very small Bat family. You don't have like 5 fucking Robins. You only have Nightwing and Batgirl, which I think works. Actually, another interesting thing, they do something different with Jason Todd in this. I'm not going to spoil that, but, you know, I thought it was a neat idea what they did with Jason Todd in this. So, you know, Joker gets sent to Arkham, but he goes sane. And this is one of the things that I kind of don't understand. It's like, see if I can find a good panel. You know, when Joker goes sane, like his skin isn't white anymore, his hair's not green. It's, I guess insanity is like a werewolf effect or something. But he goes by his real name. And I don't think any comic has ever given the Joker a name before. And it's Jack Napier, which was Jack Nicholson's character's name in Batman. So that's kind of cool. And pretty much once he goes sane, he becomes like this political activist and tries to turn all of Gotham against Batman. He's public enemy number 1 because of how he handles things. You know, he has a Batmobile. He just runs over everything, crashes through shit, blows shit up. You know, he's the real, you know, threat against our society. And, you know, Joker even goes down to like the slummy, most ghetto-y parts of Gotham to help out, you know, where there's a lot of like racial tension, and then they get on his side. Harley becomes, you know, there's actually a love story between Joker and Harley. Everyone wants to say, like, you know, all like the Hot Topic weird kids, that they love the love story between Joker and Harley. Like in Suicide Squad. First of all, Suicide Squad is a bullshit movie. That's not Joker and Harley at all. If you want a love life like Joker and Harley, you don't understand Joker and Harley. He is a completely abusive psychopath that doesn't even love her, and she's got Stockholm Syndrome. Like no other. Like Patty Hearst times 100. So you don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, what's really fun about this book, other than just the truly original story and the artwork, is there's a bunch of Easter eggs in here. Like, you really get to see what... Like, that's also great. Inner cover. You get to see all the things that Sean Murphy likes about Batman. You know, for example, when you're in the Batcave. Like, that's what Joker actually looks like in this. Great artwork. You get to see all the different Batmobiles. Because any artist, when they get to draw the Batcave, they get to draw their favorite Batmobiles. And Tim Burton's Batman 89 is in there and actually has a big role in this book. You know, you get to tell who all his favorite villains are. Which, I love this part because... here, Joker is sort of rounding up all the villains. Like, I mean, you got Poison Ivy, Bane, Two-Face, Scarecrow, Penguin, Riddler, Killer Croc, the Ventriloquist. The Ventriloquist is because everybody's redone in this. They all look different. They're all Sean Murphy's versions. Ventriloquist is black. Killer Croc isn't just a guy with a skin condition. He's actually a giant fucking crocodile. Two-Face is like red. It's like a red face. Scarecrow's more like Sid from Slipknot. You know, it's all different and original, and that's cool. And actually, he's got Baby Doll. Which, there's a lot of Batman animated series references in here. Which... animated series being my favorite thing of Batman, that's another reason why I love this book so much. I knew this book was going to be a winner when Joker goes home after leaving Arkham and sees Harley. Now, see, Harley looks like the Margot Robbie Suicide Squad Harley. And she's like, oh, your face is weird. And, oh, let's go out and do stuff. And he's trying to, apologize for the years of abuse and everything. She's like, you're acting weird. He's trying to say, I want to be the man you deserve. I want to love you. Propose. And she's like, she gets all weirded out. And it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And she's like, I'm not your pudding. And then she gets kicked by someone off panel. And she was just like, you're like, oh yeah. It's like, no, you weren't kicked. And it's like, I was. And we see original animated series, black and red spandex, true Harley Quinn. And you find out one Harley was an imposter. This is the real Harley. And without going too much into it to spoil it, it's very well written. It could have just been some bullshit, like how in a sequel to some good movie or book, the character gets amnesia. That way they get to do a sequel. It could have been some bullshit thing like that, but it's very well written. I was like, this guy is really on something. Freeze is actually like more of a good guy. He's always been a tragic hero, a tragic villain. But, he actually gets to I'm not going to say that. And, there's some really sad parts about, like when Harley tells him her story. It's an original villain called Neo Joker, which is that imposter Harley. And she's trying to get Joker to go insane again so she can have him back. And you get tons of great stuff in this. If you like reading Batman stories and you want to see a truly good original story, read Batman White Knight. And another thing, it's sort of one of those ideas, like, how has it not been done before? The Joker going sane and going political and trying to turn everyone against Batman. You're right. It's so genius, you have to wonder how no one's done it before. But I feel if anyone else had written this, the Joker being sane and being good, like following the law and everything, being a good citizen also, if anyone else had written it, it would have been a ruse. It would have been like, oh, Batman, that was all part of my plan to act sane. But with Sean Murphy, he stuck to his guns. He followed through with it. It's actually genuine. Joker really is sane. There's no strings. And they really do paint the picture that even it's also trying to convince the reader that the Joker's the good guy and Batman's the bad guy. It does a good job at that, It's not just convincing other characters. Like, you as the reader, it's just so compelling. But yeah, a lot of people liked it when it came out, but comics have a tendency to be disappointing when there's a great idea. So they were worried that, that Sean Murphy wasn't going to follow through and it wasn't going to stick the landing, but he did in a very big way. And that's why I think this is one of the greatest comics I've ever read. Second favorite Batman comic I've ever read. This is going to be hard to top, too. But yeah, I wanted to make a shorter video. I didn't want to go too much into the plot. I think this year Sean Murphy is doing a sequel to this called Curse of the White Knight. And which makes me nervous because even in horror movies, any sequel called Curse tends to be really shitty. And this story is so good, it feels like it's like lightning in a bottle, like it's never going to be captured again. But I heard, I guess the villain in that one's going to be Azrael, which if you've read Nightfall, you know about Azrael. If you watch Gotham, you know a little bit about Azrael. But yeah, this book is just... I could go on forever about it, but I don't want to go too much into the plot because, like I said, this book does not deserve to be spoiled for anybody. So definitely, I mean, read it on the app or go pick your, or, you know, actually buy the trade. I don't like reading comics online. I much rather have the physical book. But yeah, Batman White Knight, fantastic. Probably the best one. Probably the best original story since, like, Black Mirror. If you remember Black Mirror 2011. I would say Court of Owls, but that's more of a story arc instead of, like, its own thing. Court of Owls is great, too. I'm going to have to do that soon. Batman White Knight, great Batman book. Highly recommend it. But that's it for me. Room 237, I'm out. Thank you.